fee. I'm gonna have to pay you for Brandon for the. I have to pay G a Brandon fee. Bull Traffy. Convinced. Until then, we're in the zone right now. Between 406.60 and 408.72, we're sitting right in that zone. The 10-day moving average is at 406.96, so that's a little support. At 408.43 is the 200-day moving average line. So if we break over 408.43, we break above the 200-day moving average. Right now, we're trading below the 200-day moving average, which is bearish. All right, we are live. Okay. You holding on? You holding on? When'd you buy them? What price did you buy them at? When'd you buy the puts at? Okay. 404s and 402s. 404 puts and 402 puts. What's the expiration date on those? Oh, so that's both like 1 day and a 0 day. Okay. So we had initial jobless claims come out today. Came out higher than expected. Came out 228,000. Expected was 200,000. Last report was 246. So they expected it to come down, but it didn't come down as much as they expected on jobless claims. And then you had manufacturing PMI came in a little bit lower than expected yesterday. So that shows that our non-manufacturing industry is showing weakness. It's not in contraction yet because the score is not below 50. When they say the number comes in below 50 on ISM PMI, that shows that the manufacturing industry is starting to contract. And above that, it shows it's still an expansion. So they expected it to come in at 54, and it came in at 51, showing that manufacturing is contracting a little bit more than expected. Let's look at the chart over the last couple months still. What'd you say? April 21st. Yeah, April 21st. Yeah, I said I'm trying to stay away from those weeklies, man. Anything with inside a week expiration, I ain't really trying to trade it no more. I'm good with the theta. I'll take my smaller gains and suffer smaller losses on the pullbacks. Unless I really see a scalp play that I want to take, Right now, I'm looking at the SPY. Oh, shit, let me put this indicator on. Where is it at? I don't need up that line if I'm going to do that. Let's put the overbought, oversold. Let's turn that on. And let's turn on. Okay, I got the moving averages going on there. And we'll turn on. I like putting smart money, dumb money with this indicator. So we put smart money, dumb money, institutional buyers versus retail buyers, indicator, red line retail, blue line institution. Let's see what we're looking like here. So, as it stands right now, had a little sell-off from smart money right there. Bullard is speaking right now, so a Fed member is speaking right now this very moment. So that's what's causing this little shift we're seeing. Yeah, that's probably what's causing the pullback a little bit right now, whatever he's saying. CNBC, what's going on?
That's 1-800-376-4376.
Squawk Box, weekday 6 a.m. Eastern on CNBC and streaming live on Peacock.
Opportunity doesn't just knock at your door. It's a hands-on pursuit fueled by ambition. You work for it, grind for it, feed your passion.
Yeah,
your
that's the
future
support level.
is in your
Well, the
hands.
support level I got
CNBC.
is right around this. Yeah, right around that level.
There's no question we're seeing a bifurcation
You heard about
in
the
the
Cash
consumer
App
today.
CEO
The
dying?
lower-end consumer, we have two value brands, Signature
How many
by Levi
CEOs they knocked
Strauss and
off in the last
Denizen,
year now?
which are sold more
How
in the
many does
mass
that make?
channel. You know, targeting a price point that's well below
Stabbed
Levi's
to
Red
death.
Tab.
They
That
said
really
we're not even
appeals
going to
to
fake sicknesses,
a
anything anymore.
lower-income
Helicopter
consumer.
crashes. No, we're just going to
Those
stab
businesses
y'all
have really
now.
been challenged for the last almost 12 months, since
We
the
tired
middle
of
of
trying to
last
disguise
year.
all of our
And we're
murders.
definitely seeing
We're
it
just
in
going
that
to commit
business.
them now. Oh, don't tell me about it start raining.
That's Levi Strauss's Chip Berg talking with our Sarah Eisen last month at Shop Talk,
Cash App?
discussing the health of the
Cash App was the
consumer and the
motive.
challenges facing his business. Shares on pace for their worst day since March 2020 on the back of earnings. Profits beat, but it was down from a year ago. They are
I'm not even
reaffirming
sure.
a cautious
I don't even
outlook.
know. He probably
1510 this
was.
morning,
Even if
guys,
he
is going to be
wasn't,
the
I just
low
know
of
he
the
probably
year.
was one of the
And of course, we
minds
look
that
forward
helped
to hearing what he
establish
tells
that
Jim
company.
later on tonight.
They're already
I
talking
feel
about
like they're trying to
inventories, trying to
eliminate
work that
anybody that's
down, that
going to be
impacting margins. We've heard that from a lot of
competitive or
retailers
a threat
in
to
the
the
past
Fed
earnings
now
season.
system that they're
Meantime,
trying to
Bitcoin
push
on pace
through.
to end the week lower, breaking a 3-week winning streak that's seen the cryptocurrency gain
So
almost
they went after
25% over the last
FTX. They
month.
got them out of
Mackenzie
there. They got
Sagala has
another
been
couple
tracking the action.
crypto
Joins us now with more.
billionaires about the
Mackenzie.
picture.
Hey, Melissa. So
They're
Bitcoin
going
and
after
Ether both
JP right
lower this
now.
morning.
They're
Bitcoin
going
off by
after
more than
Mr.
1%. Ether down by more
JP
than
Morgan Chase
2% ahead
himself.
of Friday's jobs
Jamie
report. Now, in the
Dimon, they're
last year,
trying
it's
to get
often
rid of
been
him.
macroeconomic
I think
data that
FedNow
has the
system is
biggest
going to be what they
impact
try
on
to
crypto
push
prices.
as
The
being
concern is
the
that any
system that
signs
they
of
want
inflation in
everybody to
this jobs
use
data could translate into
to
more
exchange
aggressive
funds
rate
through.
hikes by the Fed in order to
That's kind of
temper
going south. It's
inflation.
raining.
But as
This
we
is
close
Florida.
in on 1 month since the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, it's been a really incredible run in the crypto market overall. Bitcoin
This
and
is
Ether
Florida
have
for
far
you.
outperformed bank stocks since March 10th, following the collapse of SVB, Silvergate, and Signature banks. That dovetails with this narrative that as people lost confidence in the traditional banking system, decentralized digital currencies were a more attractive safe haven play. We've seen Bitcoin tracking higher alongside gold in the last month.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
Bitcoin is
Ether
tracking
hitting a
higher
9-month
alongside
high
gold
and
over the last month.
outperforming Bitcoin this week,
But
ahead of a big
yeah, with
upgrade that's
Cash App,
happening
the
on
thing I
April
see on
12th.
Cash App
And
is similar
Dogecoin
to
up
what I identified
30%
when all
on
those
Monday.
crypto,
That spike coming after Elon Musk
when all
had
the
Twitter change its
crypto
logo.
CEOs were dying. I was like, they were not getting, they weren't just died. Those were hits. And like I said, I feel like it's all about economic power plays being made right now. They're trying to eliminate anybody they could possibly feel is going to disrupt their system that they're about to create. And they're going to, if you're not on board with it, then they're probably going to get rid of you. So everybody that's still around probably is convinced to be on board with whatever project is coming. And I know FedNow is a major part of that infrastructure that we have coming out. Have y'all really dug into FedNow? Okay, yeah, y'all take some time and dig into FedNow and start looking up what this system does, what its purpose is, and who the partners are. From what I understand, a lot of the systems that a lot of the blockchain and payment systems that are used on the blockchain right now, like XRP, even Algo and Avalanche, they're trying to find ways to partner with these developers to make a seamless service through FedNow. So I'm thinking that anybody that doesn't want to align or help out with this agenda is who we're going to see facing a lot of pushback or potential death because of their lack of cooperation with FedNow. But XRP, I think they're going to beat their court case because a lot of the projects that are incorporated in FedNow is powered through XRP. So I don't think they're going to bring down a company that they're looking to integrate so deeply with the FedNow system. I'm about to tweet out the FedNow link, and then I'm gonna pin it in here so you guys can see. Tweet that for y'all right now.
Access to mental health care.
On a commercial. All right, so I just tweeted it out. Let me pin it up in here real quick.
In Beijing today, Macron is on a 3-day visit to China to discuss the war in Ukraine and trade, among other issues.
The French president is on a 3-day visit to China right now.
Nuclear weapons should not be used in the conflict, but President Xi has refused to criticize Russia for its actions. Meanwhile, in Macron's home country, France, demonstrators continuing to take to the streets. This is the 11th day of nationwide strikes and demonstrations across the government's plan to increase the retirement age by 2 years to 64. Talks between trade union leaders and Prime Minister Borne ending Wednesday without a breakthrough, setting the stage for protests to continue. And back in the U.S., the LSU women's basketball team is celebrating their first NCAA championship with a parade on campus. The Tigers beating Iowa by a score of 102-85 on Sunday in Dallas. The game made history for the most points.
So France is meeting with China right now. You know, France is definitely NATO. As part of NATO, that shows us trying to extend some kind of peace with them. They're trying to find some middle ground right now. It's a scramble. France is saying that they want to make sure we don't resort to using any nuclear weaponry in any kind of conflict. Exactly what they said. We ain't gonna do it. The French already look soft. Send them instead. U.S. can't go out there talking with China. We can't do it, so y'all go do it. They are. That's a fact. 100%. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this whole FedNow website later and see all the different services it's gonna be offering. Because I remember I looked through it at one point and I saw all the different services, and the guy that was giving the breakdown on XRP, he was showing that through the FedNow site when they show you who they use to create certain of these platforms that they're going to be putting out, that XRP is mentioned in a lot of those. So I got to go back and look through those. But when I find them, I'm going to be sending them in Discord.
Watch that. We have got some data in on some of the dividends for the quarter, and the numbers are really good. We have new records here for the dividends. Those of you who love dividends, and there's a lot of them out there, judging by your emails.
I love dividends.
The S&P's yielding about 1.7%. We've got 146 billion in dividends. That's pretty good. A lot of big companies hiked in the last quarter. So Oracle and Applied Materials, Hess, American Express, all hiked their dividends in the double-digit range, as you see there. We also had a dividend hike from FedEx yesterday. So this is very important. Now, the issue is, are they going to continue this year? There's a lot of pressures on the dividends. Remember, they depend on the cash flow from the companies. Banks particularly may have some cash flow problems with the banking crisis. So we'll keep an eye on that. But don't sneeze at a 2% dividend yield. A lot of people poo-poo it, but it's a critical component in overall returns for the S&P 500. In fact, when you reinvest the dividends, that's the critical point in financial literacy and education, is to reinvest those dividends, because the S&P returns 10% a year on average. But the total return, Carl, is about
today was ready to be bearish. It could have been
to reinvested dividends, and that's a critical component for people to understand. That 2% reinvested every year, Carl, adds up over the years and turns into about 40% of your total return. Carl, back to you.
All right, Bob, talking in a while.
Yeah, I heard that, man. My man said reinvesting your dividends, that 2% you reinvesting every year.
While using
by the time, if you're an average long-term investor, you're doing like 10 to 20 years in investing,
after the bell, and of course,
he said that those dividend compounds that you're doing end up becoming like 40% of the gain in your portfolio.
SCI Chief Investment Officer Jim
Just in the compounding of the dividend.
At Post 9. It's great to have you.
Compounding is powerful. Get the drip. Gotta get your drip.
The statement has said that more additional firming may be appropriate.
More additional firming may be appropriate. Bullard reinforced that, I think, this morning. We're in the camp that we're not going to fight the Fed. We believe them. The market has now taken that percentage to less than a coin flip, that we even get another 25 at the next meeting. We think they give us another 25 and then pause, not pivot. It's all about the pause.
All right.
And then
let's go to historical patterns of what I want to see. I want to see the earnings calendar.
Once the 10-year, as it is today, near a 6-month low,
what do we have going on for earnings?
That's the most interesting part of the market that we're in today. I think the market continues to kind of price in this kind of standard reaction function that we're all used to, which is market gets in trouble, Fed steps in, cuts rates. I don't think that plays out today. I mean, inflation is stubborn.
Constellation brands came out, STZ. I was interested in seeing what they came out with, actually. Let's look at STZ and see what they do.
I think the market has to adjust to this new reality that, the Fed's looking at employment, the Fed's looking at the economy.
Constellation brands.
And the Fed might not be here to bail out the market if we go into a little bit of a downdraft throughout 2023.
You say
came out with earnings. They beat earnings by 7%. They missed on revenue by less than 1%.
Consumer finance, even capital markets. There's risks and there's certainly opportunities within broad, what I would call financials. So it's not just about the systematically.
Because I know Constellation brands, I believe they're the ones that have they're the ones that have the marijuana partnership, right? With
When you say fringe of finances, though, what does that mean? Is that fintech? Is that
Constellation had their partnership?
Consumer finance. We don't like to get into tickers per se, but on those kind of subsector names, capital markets. There are some big names out there that I think have hit some headlines and have taken some hits. I think there's definitely opportunities out there to be found.
If you think that the Fed will indeed be higher for longer with rates, does that mean that they're intent on
CGC. CGC is Constellation brand marijuana partner.
A purge of a recession to get the job done?
I mean, I think, yes, indirectly.
Let's look at canopy growth.
The economy is slowing. We saw today.
We were talking about getting in. I was talking about getting back in on canopy growth.
I think they are most concerned about inflation. They don't want to recreate
because of that association and the fact that I feel like it's trading near an all-time low. It's like $1. It's like $1.50.
They need to slay this dragon. They want to make sure that this is done and dusted. And in order to do that,
yeah, $1.59.
They're willing to wait and to see what happens. But 3 to 4 cuts priced in by the end of 2023, we just don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, they're never going to say that.
It's tanked over the last couple of weeks.
Part of the plan. I guess it's just a matter of once you had
since the beginning of February, it's lost like 50%. It's going down like 50% in value. CGC.
Contraction impact is going to be. So you have to see the market trying to.
How low can it go?
And triangulate where this ends up.
Yeah, I think the Silicon Valley situation is that has more to do with the terminal rate, right? So if the terminal rate was 550 or 575, the terminal rate is now 5.25, and that's it. And now they wait and see. The biggest issue is, do they cut though? What is it going to take to have them actually take their foot, not off the brakes, but back on the accelerator? We just don't see that happening whatsoever. They need to wait and see what happens so they can avoid a re-acceleration of inflation in 2024.
How about client feedback? Are you getting the sense that clients are waiting for
a revisit of the October lows,
or will they be that patient?
It's interesting. Sentiment in general is pretty negative, but the market certainly doesn't reflect that, does it? Right. So there's definitely this kind of tale of two woes. I'm looking at market data and I'm hearing what I hear from clients as well. They're very, very cautious. And to be honest, we're helping them along in that regard, right? We do think having some cash in your portfolio right now makes sense.
So these calls.
5%.
The 50-day moving average at 407.14. It's literally trading right on both moving averages right now.
As a hurdle over and above equities.
Heavy
Do you
levels
think
right
that,
here.
I mean, it seems like conventional wisdom, and it's an outgrowth of that general caution of, you know, emphasize quality, emphasize.
But breaking above that 200-day moving average is what you really need. Break above 408, 44.
Feels like there's still any juice to be squeezed out of that.
Yeah, we have a little bit of the nuance, so we're a little bit more barbell. So yes, we're raising cash. We have
stop out level 404,
off
30.
the table, but where we are in the market is we still like value. We still think that makes a lot of sense.
Let's see what Bullard is saying. Bullard is not saying anything, at least on CNBC. They're not showing him talking, so
I don't see the 10-year finishing the year.
I really don't know what he's saying.
Have you increased your allocation to gold?
We have increased our allocation to gold. It is part of a broader commodity exposure, but you know, gold absolutely makes sense here.
Yeah, down today, but certainly has had an amazing run in Q1. Jim, thanks so much. Great to have you in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, still ahead, live sports rights taking center stage
just
for the
sitting on this
streamers.
line, just sitting right on that line.
Teams? We'll check in with the president and general manager of the Marlins, the first and only female-led professional sports team. They, of course, in Major League Baseball. After the break, stay with us. We're back in a moment.
I was gonna say you might want to get out. They back in the money. Because we're using 40660 as support. If you got some green right now, I want to take your profit. And I would look to see like if we break down below and hold, or we close out below 40660. But if we can't close below 40660, I would close those out. Because 40660 is going to serve as support now. Earlier this morning when we broke down, it was resistance, so it was good to be in put then. But it broke back up above it.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $3,750 total value on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Find new.
It's trying to break back down. Looks like it based on let me see the last couple candlesticks. Yeah, I'm looking at the volume on each candlestick, and it's like that last candlestick, the last red candlestick we just had was 100,000 sales to 50,000 buys. That's what paused the push up. Now this candlestick is 83,000 buys to 73,000 sales, so it means the buys are starting to pick back up again. Because there's only 50,000 buys on the last candlestick. But it's like it wants to push down, but the volume is not allowing it. People are buying heavy at this level. Once it gets down below that 406, like the buyers start kicking.
Quadrupled our team. At the pace we're growing, I couldn't keep up with.
But even with the buyers coming in heavy and it being in favor of the buyers on this candlestick, is still down. So that's kind of a bearish sign, showing that it doesn't take much downward push. It's not going to take much of a downward push to bring the markets down. Because if it's already pulling down with equal selling and buying volume, that once it goes into the seller's favor, it's going to push down. Like, yep, right here. How it's going in the seller's favor, now it's pushing down more. But last candlestick, I thought it would have pushed. I thought it would have engulfed the previous candlestick with 100,000 sales to 50,000 buys. That was a big difference. This candlestick is much closer. So what we have happening right now is dumb money is starting to sell. And that's what's causing this pullback. This is the dumb money starting to sell. Smart money is pretty neutral. Smart money that they're selling this morning. And now they're sitting kind of still. What's going on, Robinhood, man? Didn't put the order through. And the VIX is pushing. VIX double bottomed out at around 1929, it looks like. but it doesn't break above 20. So we're sitting in a range right now. That's the thing. You gotta be careful with ranges because you'll get caught in the up and down swing, and you're looking for a major breakout in one direction. You may not get that. At least not today. Like if you look at yesterday, we traded in the same exact range pretty much all day yesterday. The low of yesterday would have been, if we drop down below 405.80, then we're going into lows of yesterday, or breaking the low of yesterday. So 405.80 is a good level to look out for intraday on the SPY. Yeah. Let's see what's happening in the news, though. Let's just see what's going on in the news. So Costco put in its first monthly same-store sales drop since 2020. So Costco is a pretty strong company, especially during economic turmoil. A lot of people shop at Costco. Let's see. Let's see. What's the top stories? What's the new signs of economic slowdown we got this morning? The S&P closed lower Wednesday on renewed recession worries after the U.S. economy released another concerning number. This time it was the ADP report showing that private employers added 145,000 jobs in March, below the estimate of 205,000 hires. I mean, I thought that's what we expected. We expected hiring to slow down. We expected people to start getting fired. This is what was the narrative. This is what was being told. Johnson & Johnson has a settlement. They proposed an $8.9 billion settlement. $8.9 billion. The pharma giant has suggested paying up to the sum to thousands of claimants in the span of 20 to 25 years. It announced to agree $8.9 billion to tens of thousands of people over 25 years. The pharmaceutical giant has been flooded by lawsuits claiming that its talc powder products cause cancer. More than 60,000 claimants supported the deal, which is now headed for approval by a bankruptcy court. That's crazy. Johnson & Johnson didn't admit any wrongdoing when it offered to pay up the lofty sum. The J&J VP of litigation said the claims are specious and lack scientific merit. In that context, some plaintiffs' lawyers vowed to pursue a higher compensation package for their clients. Yeah, sounds like you're causing cancer, Johnson & Johnson. Sounds like you're causing cancer. And you're just trying to sweep it under the rug with these $8 billion in pay. That's a lot of money, $8 billion. You know what that reminds me of? It's similar to the NFL with the concussion situation, how they just paid it off. They paid off all the concussion lawsuits, and they pretty much said, nah, because we paid this, you can't ever sue us again for this shit. Or you can't even bring this up. I think that's what's going on here. I got Johnson & Johnson sitting on my counter right now. I might throw that shit away.
Griggs out of the Mariners, and so I think you are going to see more of it.
And when you talk about people coming from other industries, I do think
they will fight that to the death. If that was a claim that a scientist made or a doctor came out and they justified that in court, saying that their powders causing cancer, oh my goodness, I would shut down Johnson & Johnson, that kind of claim. That's why they could never admit to
what you
that.
thought of the Commissioner, Rob Manfred, kind of talking about analytics as a dead end. It's an arms race to nowhere. He kind of was more or less attributing it to an owner, but said he agreed with it. I mean, it's hard to say we need less information in the game, but how do you think about things?
You know, I do think that's hard to say. You know, I think in terms of our analytics, you know, we use it obviously every day. There's always more information that we can gather, and I think it really depends on how you apply that information as well.
Yeah. On that point, we talk about, I know this might be a bit far afield, but we talk about AI like every day now, and the market itself is searching for use cases. Do you see it being even larger component of management beyond the so-called Moneyball era that we talked about years ago?
We don't see it right now being mainstream in baseball, but we do see slivers of it coming into the industry, on particularly.
Is he still talking? That's why I said they haven't been playing any part. It's not even like he has a type of speech that I see
There's a
on
lot
CNBC or anything. I don't have to look on YouTube. Let me see.
in the stock market. I'm wondering if, in Caroline, I know your background is financial. It wasn't baseball. Yes. So that was a hard pivot for you. Morgan Stanley UBS is where you came from, basically. Yes. Do you guys trade? Are you interested in the markets? Something that you watch?
I am. I just don't have the time.
Well, you trade, just not stocks.
Exactly. Different kind of trading. Carol.
Yeah, we're focused on the markets of public companies. You know, we look for great partners to.
Option for a stock you think is going to go up, it's a call. So think of it like this.
I made the options video where I was like, options are just like shopping.
Rumor has it that this pallet's about to go up in price. So if I come in tomorrow, can I still buy it at said price?
And a ton of women just like attacked that video and were like, you explain things so much better than my boyfriend or my professor, or like I could sit and listen to you all day. And I was like, this is what I was looking for.
But TikTok's algorithm does not reward calm and measured videos about responsible investing. It rewards this.
Watch this video for 30 seconds and you'll be rich for the rest of your life.
I try not to say the A word, the ALGO word, because TikTok listens to us.
The algorithm does impact how you feel. You know, you do notice which videos do better versus which videos do worse.
How do you catch someone's attention in less than 60 seconds? And how do you make it something that they're like, I need this in my life? Nearly impossible to do that in 60 seconds. But the people who perfect it are the people that you're gonna watch and gonna stick around.
And where people are sticking around? Reddit. And it's nearly countless subreddits about finance. And by far the biggest one of those is Wall Street Bets.
There's a lot of social media platforms out there, but Reddit is like the social media platform for finance. Places like Wall Street Bets is where it all goes down.
Started in January 2012, it wasn't long before Wall Street Bets adopted a 4chan-like etiquette, leading to their
I use Reddit. I use Reddit.
Bloomberg talk.
All right, let's look at the markets looking like before I get up out of here and get into some news, because I'll start getting into watching news. Well, I'll start watching. All right, so we are at 406.40. It looks like we have a heavy top wick on this candlestick too. It looks like a higher, if we don't break down from here, this looks like it's just another higher, it's like a higher low being made for the day. If it can't break below this level. Like I said, 405.80 is what you would need to break below. Oh, yeah, see? Yeah, I can't. That's why I said I'm done with the scalp trades, because that intraday, we may pull down here, but we're going, nah, I can't. I can see where we generally going in the macro vision that we're heading more in the upward direction. I see the daily over the last couple of days have weakened though. So over the last 3 days we have gapped down. That's because we had that crazy push up and pretty much 2 days. So we didn't pull back the whole push up that we had because we really gapped up from that 404 level that I got 404.11. We gapped up from there, and then the next day we pushed up to 409. So we haven't come all the way back down to 404. So this could be like kind of filling the gap down, what it's doing from that rapid push up we had over 2 days. And then it could find support around 404.50 and then start taking back off from there. If it pushes back down below 404.50 though, then that shows sign that we're breaking down again. So, like I said, I got this position until 421. What you said? Oh, for the you talking about for the weekly, for the candlestick, for the weekly candlestick? It probably just ends it on to whatever today closes at. Oh, yeah, sure. Like I said, on the weekly, we're still coming into strength on the MACD. So as far as macro view, the weekly is still showing strength. And the monthly is getting ready to cross over into the green, which that hasn't been the case since, we haven't been in the green on the monthly since, fucking just get out the way. Oh my goodness. Since February 2022. Since February, we crossed over from green into red February 2022 going into March 2022. And we've been in the red on the monthly MACD ever since. And now it's about to cross back over to the green for the first time in over a year. So that's why I'm like, macro momentum says we're about to break out, bro. Like, it may stall for a little bit, but I think we can break out and maybe end the year around this 430 level, like around 429, 430. We can end the year around there after some choppy back and forth. So yeah, like 3 quarterly play, like 3 monthly plays maybe with long expirations. And then you could do like little, if you see like a real opportunity in between, like a little light scout play, if you see something playing off of a level. Like right now, this candlestick is like it's closing into weakness here. We may close below that level. Let me see something. This 15-minute candlestick didn't have a lot of volume in it. Not a lot of volume at all compared to the last 2 candlesticks. Last 2 candles, the 15-minute, they didn't have anywhere near as much volume as this candlestick. I mean, as the last 2 candlesticks. This one. Yeah, this is on no volume though. It's moving like this. It's 49,000 sales to 44,000 buys right now, and it's moving like this. Like what? Last candlestick had 100,000 sales on it, 95,000 buys. Yeah, this price action is weird today. It's crazy because I don't see anything with him speaking, not even on YouTube, nothing. I was gonna say it's like a Friday. It's trading like a Friday too, so I gotta remember that. Like, that's why I don't mess with Fridays. It says layoffs are up nearly 5x this year, with tech leading the way. It says. It's funny because they're saying the weak job data is fueling people's fear of a recession, but it's like this has been said that the jobs about to start firing people, laying people off, and cutting back on hiring. Like the fact that the labor market was still so strong was surprising people. So it's about time the labor market kind of cools off. Bed Bath & Beyond is trying to do a reverse stock split as it struggles to avoid bankruptcy. Damn. I like Bed Bath & Beyond though. It's crazy to go to show you that you could like a company could be a good product and service, but it could still fail somehow if they're not managed properly, if improperly managed. It's like, what was those old companies? What's the old company? You remember Circuit City?
Eastern CNBC.
Circuit City used to be the tech spot, bro. Circuit City shut down. Yeah, there was Blockbuster. Everybody know Blockbuster. The Blockbuster story. Blockbusters used to be everywhere. Shut down.
Q1. It's down 53.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me for trading today and watching these markets. Like we're about to push back up now. And there's a heavy reversal and push back up. Biller might be done speaking. It's 11 o'clock hour. Let me look at the hourly. Yeah, this was the 10 o'clock to 11. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. The hourly is still young, it's still early. Let me look at the 5 minute. The 5 minute showing strong signs. The 3 minute. How is the 5 minute in the green and the 3 minutes in the red? About to cross over to the green. That's how you know today is moving crazy. The 3 minute hasn't crossed over to the green yet, but the 5 minute is, I don't know, maybe on that pullback I can see. But yeah, we're pushing now. This is the moment right here. If we're going to break out now, we have to push above. We have to break above 407 is the first level, followed by 407.20. If we could break 407.20, then we're going towards, we could shoot towards that 408.70. But 407.49 is a 200-day moving average level, so you're going to see some resistance at 407.50. But once we break 407.50, which is a 200-day moving average, I can see us jumping pretty heavy from there. And I'll keep my alert out for, I'm going to put an alert in here for when we break above 408. Because that's when I'm gonna look to sell my call. See if we have 30% at that point. Yeah, he tried to break it down. That was it. Made its attempt and tried to break down, even from open, and tried to break down. And then it caught resistance at double bottom at 406.03. And it's never gone back down to low since. So we just made a higher low at 406.30. And now we may push higher, and then we may make a higher low above like 406.60 or something like that. And then maybe a choppy day, but that's why I'm not going too hard. My guy Vic, what's going on, bro? Guy Vic is representing the brand. He threw the sticker on the laptop, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys get your gear from Land of Culture. Our website, I'm going to put the link below this video so you can check that out. Make sure you get your merchandise and gear there to support the brand. And make sure you're subscribing, following, and sharing these videos with your friends and family so they could get their financial literacy and education up. Feel free to ask questions whenever you're in here watching the live streams, and join the Discord, which is going to also be in a link below, to ask me questions directly via the group, via the community. I call it my community. All right, YouTube. I see y'all next week. Have a good weekend. Happy Good Friday to you all. Peace.